Hello everyone, how are you all doing? In the midst of summer, here we are just about to, we're soon going into August, the month for the Manx Grand Prix. But first, here we are still in July. What a month it's been with the Southern 100 and all that went on there. Terrible, terrible situation. I'm going to talk about that a little bit in this video. If you want to hang around and listen and watch, please do, and leave some comments. Otherwise, there's no other video of the Southern 100 racing in this today, but just me talking and explaining a few things and my feelings, of course, about decisions and stuff like that. So hang around if you wish, but if not, I perfectly understand if you want to skip by. See you in a minute. Okay, so what a Southern 100 it was. The weather wasn't great. Monday evening, pretty wet. Cleared up a little bit, allowing the newcomers to go out for a practice. But Tuesday came, great excitement, of course. Practice and then the first two races. I was actually near Ballackagan, which is not far from the start, and a really nice section to try and get some video. I was called by the police to please move my car, which apparently was too close to the runoff area at Ballackagan Corner, even though there were no signs there to say no parking or whatever. And in doing that, I missed quite a bit of the first practice. Not to worry. The second practice, the 1000cc bikes were coming out. Great excitement, of course. Always is. The start of the Southern 100. What a great event it is. Saw a number of bikes and suddenly a puff of smoke. A puff of smoke down where the bikes turn off to go back to the paddock, away from the circuit. I and some other spectators were wondering, what's that? You know, some sort of fire or something. We didn't hear anything, but of course we saw suddenly a lot of emergency vehicles, and I mean a lot. They were descending onto that particular area of the circuit, almost forming a circle. Ambulances, police cars, and possibly some fire engine as well. And we realized that whatever had happened was pretty serious. And then we discovered, yes, it was most terrible accident, resulting in the deaths of a rider, and his name was Alan Connor, 50 years old, from Northern Ireland. He'd raced in the TT and MGP, I believe, and he'd been racing for a number of years. He was experienced. And also a marshal. The marshal's name was Mr Clarke. He was 66 years old. And he was from England, but originally from Ireland. And when you hear that, it gives you such a shock. But then others, two more spectators injured. Oh no, sorry, one more spectator and a rider, which suggests the riders collided, of course. Inquest has been opened while investigations are carrying on. When the session was cancelled, of course, the road remained closed for about 24 hours, and forensic teams were there. I think because of the seriousness when spectators become involved, you know, things have to be investigated very thoroughly, and it is still continuing quite a while after the event. But the inquest has been opened and it will be continuing, of course. But all I can say is that both Alan Connor and Liam Clarke both died of blunt force injuries. Tragic, and all we can do is offer condolences to their families and their friends. The Southern 100, the TT, the Manx Grand Prix, it's like a big family in a way. The family includes the riders, competitors. It includes the fans, all the spectators, the marshals, everyone who is involved in it. And there are a lot of people involved. But let's consider that everyone that enjoys the road racing here on the Isle of Man are members of one huge family. And when we have a tragedy, it's like losing a member, a family member. And it hurts. It hurts. I know a lot of riders, you know, they can continue. They're somehow prepared to continue when there is a tragedy of this nature. But I think the organisers, the Southern 100 Club, they did the right thing in cancelling the event. It was Tuesday evening. There would have been practicing again Wednesday evening and then racing on the Thursday, of course. As far as weather goes, it was never guaranteed that it'd be good, but if the racing would have continued, I think Thursday was quite a good day. People have said, why cancel it? It wouldn't happen in the TT. Well, with those sort of comments, I think what you have to understand, if two bikes, two competitors collide, crash, then it's different. Even though it's so unfortunate, it's still tragedy. But when bystanders, marshals, or members of the public become involved, then it's different. Is it down to insurance? I don't know. But when we look at how much investigation has been done and continuing, and of course the amount of people that had needed and absolutely needed help to overcome what they've seen and to overcome or help them overcome the losses that they've incurred, where they've lost a rider and a marshal. The other rider involved, I can't say the name. The other spectator that was involved, member of the public, I can't say the name. But they have gone back home to England, back to hospital or transferred to hospitals near their hometown. A good decision, because obviously they are going to need a lot of help as well. Alan Connor has gone on his final trip from the Isle of Man to Dublin, and then a lot of motorcycles were invited to join his car that was carrying him all the way from Dublin home to the Chapel of Rest, where I believe he is before his funeral. Oh, it gives me a shiver, I know, but I don't know what your thoughts are. I didn't really want to do this, but I just want to express what happens when we have a tragedy like this on the Isle of Man. Everyone is affected. Everyone feels it because I would say most of the people on this island are part of this big family. Alan Connor's death, of course, as racing on the Southern Circuit, has now brought the total number of accidents, fatal accidents involving competitors to 30 since the event started in 1955. Or I don't know how many spectators have been either fatally injured or seriously hurt in accidents, but I know that a few years ago there was a serious accident at Great Meadow when a friend of mine and his wife, who were both marshalling, were pretty seriously hurt. Let's remember that Alan Connor is not on his own with fatalities at the Southern Hundred. There has been a number even in recent years, and as they say, the total number now is 30. When we look back to the first fatality on the 10th of July 1958, that was Maurice A. Bowdry. In the junior event, I don't know what machine he was riding, but then the next fatality, there was nothing between 58 until 64, Tom Swindlehurst. On the 9th of July 1964, he was riding a 500cc Norton in the senior. Graham Naylor, July 1970, at Williams Corner in the senior race. Mike Pepper, July 73, at Great Meadow. Jim Farlow, July 74, Church Bends. Tony Dickinson, 15th of July 1981. That was on a 247 250 Yamaha. And then Graham Williams in 83 at Church Bends. John Torres, if that's pronounced right, Scottish man, July 1985 at Church Bends on a 250 Rotax during practice. Steve Taylor, July 88 at Great Meadow in the Solo Championship. Andy Bassett, July 91 in Billown Dip on a 350 Yamaha during practice. Roger Allen, 1982, Bollocagan Corner in the Vintage Classic race on a 498 Triumph. Michael Bellaby, May 1995 at Bollanorris in the Senior Classic race. Matthew Wood, 30th of May 1995 at Bollanorris in the Senior Classic race. The same race, the same place as Michael Malaby. Rob Harrison, July 84 at the Iron Gate. Graham Hayne, July 96 at Great Meadow. Also Michael Craig, July 1906 at Great Meadow. And Dave Pinkerton, July 96 at Great Meadow. All in practice, all together at the same place, of course. It must have been a terrible, terrible thing. Then we have Gavin Lee, July 1999 at Williams Corner on a 250 Yamaha. Mark MacDonald, July 99, Williams Corner again on a 600 Kawasaki. Andy Brown, July 2003 at Bolla Whetstone on a 600 Irison Yamaha. John Dowling, 9th of July 2003 at Bolla Whetstone, sidecar passenger on a 600 Irison Yamaha. I'm thinking maybe it looks like they both died in the same accident. So sad. Tony Smith, 25th of May 2006 at the Iron Gate in practice. Barry Pepperell, 25th of May 2006 at the Iron Gate, sidecar passenger. Philip Dongworth, 14th of July 2009, Bollanorris on a 600 Irison Honda. David Jukes, 8th of July 2013, Bollocagan Corner on a 600 Yamaha. Paul Thomas, 11th of July 2013, Osborne's, sidecar passenger on a 600 Baker Yamaha. Mark Magson Mignall, 11th of July 2013 at Castletown Stadium on a 600 Yamaha. Dean Martin, 28th of May 2016, Billown Dip and the Prix TT Classic on the Billown circuit, of course. And James Cowton, 12th of July 2018, Stadium Bends on a 600 GC Kawasaki. Now in 2023, here we have Alan Connor, of course. Names to remember, and you know, even in the earliest, going back to the earliest in the 50s, there are people, you'll never forget them, and you just think, are they all together now? Are they all riding together? They've departed this family. Are they now joining another family? Who knows? And I'm sure most of you would pass on your deepest sympathy and condolences to all involved. And as recent as Alan Connor, I know I've received lots of messages saying how sorry they felt and how they were, him and the marshal who died, of course, were in these people's prayers. If you see behind me the Southern Hundred paddock background, such a dark cloud. Perhaps it wasn't the first dark cloud, because as I say, we've just gone through the number that have died on the Billown circuit, whether it's in the Southern Hundred or the Prix TT Classic races. I know the competitors were shocked and affected, but I think the majority supported the cancellation of this year's event. I believe rightly so, because of the severity of the tragedy. Let's hope that the injured injured spectator and the injured rider make a full recovery, and you know what they're suffering. Let's hope that they get the right help from the right people. And I think that's going to bring me to a close, actually. I know Davy Todd, he went off, left the island to take part in the BSB, of course. Not much success. I know the weather has been pretty atrocious, but he is looking forward to Armoy this coming weekend, the end of this month, and so are many other riders that were here at the Southern Hundred. The show goes on, and while the competitors, the riders, are willing to race and want to race, then it should go on. But we do need the fans, we need the spectators, and of course we need the Orange Army, the marshals. Can't run without marshals. So if you're coming to the Manx Grand Prix, think about marshalling if you can. But otherwise, if you're coming, bring some good weather with you, because that's something we want. I'll be back with a sort of pre-Manx mention. Who's here, what's happening, a few details of the event and the schedule. And we got to lift ourselves from this dark cloud. So I think the important thing is to remember all that we've lost, but carry on, as you know, make the most of our lives. Right, see you again, hopefully next time. Happier situation, but I just wanted to do this to add a little bit of closure. Investigations are still going on, and so are the inquests. So I might bring you some further news if there's anything that you might be interested. Leave a comment below. Tell me if you thought I shouldn't have done this. Tell me if you're glad I did. But whatever. You take care of yourselves. We want to see you here for the racing that's going to continue on this island. Take care, everyone. See you again. Bye for now.